Yeah, man, catching up on some videos. So in this one, I want to talk about um, music appreciation. I think it was Music 1101, and I guess for me it was an elective or whatever. So I had to choose between that and like a couple other ones that were similar, like art appreciation or something. But the music appreciation, I've always been into music, and so what you can expect with that class, though, uh, might not be what you were thinking. And because I was just kind of thinking like, yeah, I like music, and I do appreciate it more now, and I appreciate the history of it. But that's what you're learning is about the history of music, and all the way back to like maybe the 14 or hundreds or something like that when you had like the medieval times, and then came into Renaissance times, and then the Baroque period, I think, was after that, and then classical, romantic, and then you're with classical and romantic, you're getting into the um, maybe mid to 17s through the 18s, and then in the 19s you have 20th century and beyond. All of those are the chapters basically, and to be honest, is it's pretty boring. Listening to 1500 music from the 1500s or 1400s or 1600s. It was very religious oriented back then, and a lot of things were controlled by the church, and the music was no exception. And it was like a church thing at first, and then later, um, it started to become more of a public thing and like something for the courts or like royalty, but also spreading into like common people. And then in like the 17 and 1800s, then they started to have more advancements, because at first you just had maybe a violin and something else similar, and maybe like a horn that just was a horn, one blow of the horn and one sound out of the horn. But then they started to have valves for the horns later, and to make like trumpets with different valves and different things like that. And um, a lot of the woodwinds and stuff were more advanced, and the piano became a part of things when they like felted the hammers and added the pedals, and so everything started to get more advanced. And by that maybe mid 17s to 18s, like the classical and the romantic periods were sounded more like some kind of modern orchestra that you've heard in your life. Um, the whole thing was a summertime class. So um, I did two classes for the summer, and they're both crammed into 8 weeks. So you had to do everything twice as fast, and it was really a difficult one. There was a whole lot of reading. It would be like, read this chapter and then do these activities and then take this test and then listen to all these things. And just reading the chapter would take like days, man. Like I would spend like at least about anywhere from probably 10 hours. I would probably spend 8 to 12 hours a week on that class. And it really kind of messed me up and got me behind on my other class. Um, you know, I'm about to find out my grades, but hopefully I caught up enough to maintain a high level. But anyway, that's what you can expect with the class. The final exam was to go to a concert, and I actually planned on going to one at the Atlanta Symphony Music Hall or something like that. Um, but I ended up not being able to go, and so I had to watch one of the symphony orchestras online and then write an essay about that. And that was the final exam, and I actually aced that one. So I did good in the class overall. One time, something got mixed up with one of my grades, and I got like a 0 on assignment, but I think I still got an A in the class overall. But it is a class that you're gonna have to have some time for, and it's not like some easy thing. I thought, hey, music appreciation, I can breeze through that for the summer, be like, boom. It wasn't like that at all. You're gonna have to have some time to dedicate to that class, and it does take up a lot of time. But overall, I feel a lot more knowledgeable about the music history, and I know about different composers and the different instruments and the different things. One thing that was kind of crazy was that that you learn so much about these OG composers from like 16, 17, 1800. You learn a lot about their personal life in the class. So it's I guess about that too. One thing that I can tell you that was crazy to me, and I guess interesting to hear. All right, so if you had a young boy in like the 1700s, or maybe even after that, I don't know how long they did this, but if you had a young boy that could sing very well and was like very young, then they would castrate them so that they could grow up and have a strong voice like a man, but a high tone. And they would be, they called them the castrata. And they were like a special addition to a chorus. They were called the castrata. And so, wow, all right. That's what you can expect from that class. It's not an easy class, but it's knowledgeable enough, and I've taken something away from it. I would take it as a full 16-week class because the work was overwhelming for 8 weeks. Kind of messed up my whole summer. But anyway, that's all. Thanks for watching.